Well, even with all the buildings along the Las Vegas Strip and all the action here, this is one of the city's biggest attractions. Allegiant Stadium opened back in 2020. And off we go from Las Vegas. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he finds Howard complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
I think that typically we expect teams to save their home run plays for later in the game when they feel like they have an advantage over a defense. But in this case, they thought they had the advantage right away and took the shot on the first play of the game and completed it successfully.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last two plays. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical that it'd be this easy, but they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
This is caught. And in for the Steelers touchdown. Jalen Waddle, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers are on the board first here in Vegas.
The losing streak had taken on a life of its own, and I think it infiltrates a team when you're on that much of a slide. But this group has managed to focus, come out early, and put a touchdown on the board. They look like they mean business in this one.
They do. Now the key, holding on to that attitude, because, man, that streak has been a struggle for them. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. Throwing to start the drive. Kramer. And this will be caught at the 30. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great play there. 63 yards. And the Raiders are able to strike back quickly with an opening touchdown of their own. Well, go ahead and strap in, partner. Less than 2 minutes in, had the score on the one side. A quick answer, though, to get the equalizer.
Sometimes you get that sense of urgency that ratchets up, right? When you give up an early touchdown like that, you just know you're like, okay, how do we go back and equalize things? Can we get it done fast? And they absolutely did. Essentially, we're back to even, aren't we?
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Now the first carry here for the running back. Room here to run. Down the left sideline. He may go. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. His 10th rushing touchdown now on the year, number 12 overall. And the Steelers have taken the lead.
You get in a 2nd and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 14-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Here's 2nd and 8. Over the middle and complete to Addison. And he's going to be knocked down hard at the end of that one. The Raiders at 9-3 here on the year. And they've certainly found their groove of late. Winners of 5 in a row.
And this team is absolutely playing their best football right now. This is the best that we've seen them play in a long time, partner. Sky's the limit as far as they're concerned. Their confidence really soaring.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Open man is the rookie from Auburn. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a 1st down as well. They'll try the left side. McClain, and a missed tackle there as he pushes forward for a gain of 4. You look at the Steeler defense. They are the 22nd ranked unit against the run in the NFL.
One thing players always tell us is that they never really pay attention to numbers. I don't believe them for a second. They know where they rank, okay? They're not quite at the top, but they're far from the bottom. But let's face it, they want to move up. In order to do that, they've got to look at each other and make sure everyone's taking care of their assignments in order to play the run better.
They'll keep it on the ground. McClain. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 25 yards, the pickup there, and also a 1st down.
What I continually hear from running backs and offensive linemen is how often they're actually getting together to watch film so they can get in sync with each other, understand blocking patterns better, how a running back likes to cut, what he wants to do. And, boy, it all came together on that one.
That's one where they watch that and say, hey, we did everything we were supposed to do right there.
That looked like the play we drew up and designed, and then we got to see it unfold in real time.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Now a handoff up the middle. McLean, and able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Looking to throw. Kramer. That is caught. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage. One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. 76 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. Well executed there on 2nd down, so do you go back to the air on 3rd?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a 2nd time.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Second and 9. Off the play fake. Kramer. That's caught downfield by Addison. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and 5. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He gets it to Addison. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 34-yard line. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Kramer. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Kramer. And this one is incomplete.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go over the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw again. Now into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Tyson Campbell.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And the Raiders have got him.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Even keeping the back end for extra protection on third down, they still could prevent the sack. Now it's 4th and long thanks to a terrific individual effort on defense.
The Steelers send out their punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Yeah, he was looking for the check up bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
Finding room at midfield. Down the right sideline. Inside the 10.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A big play there with his second touchdown here in this first half.
And the Raiders are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. What a first half he is compiling here. He's already over 100 yards receiving and now 2 touchdowns, CD.
Brandon, you know I don't like to play the game where you start projecting when you're at a certain point. But let's face it, he's off to a tremendous start. So 200 yards, 4 touchdowns. I don't think anything's out of the question right now. He's blowing up coverages. You've got to double him every snap. Otherwise, he's going to defeat you on almost every play.
Washington now brings this out. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
116 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw.
He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Merritt. And the Raiders are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. The CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive.
And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
They'll get the tight end Bowers involved there.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver, although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
On first down, he'll drop to throw.
He's got the hook up downfield to McConkey. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Lad McConkey, 39 yards, as his guys are able to extend their lead. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity. Nice chunky yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
2nd and 6. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. 7 yards there and a first down.
If you run an out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
A short one there with Freiermuth.
And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. 2nd and 2. Comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Out to his left. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. That gain on 3rd down, good for 28.
Now that's all about making something happen as a quarterback, because instead of forcing something on third down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket, waiting for someone to come open, and when he did, he put it on him for a big play and a first down.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series, because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But this defense gets 2 more stops. They can keep them out of that area.
Back to throw again. Escaping the pressure right. That is caught inside the 5. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1.
That's a big league job there of getting out of the pocket, not panicking, and just buying himself some time. Then he made a good, accurate throw to set up 1st and goal.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Again, he'll drop to throw. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
That I'm struggling to understand a little bit. That close to the goal line, 1st down, run the football. If you want to throw it, throw some play action on 2nd down.
Second and 14. And this is going to be intercepted. Now here's Johnson.
And the Raiders are going to take possession here at their own 33. Charles, one thing that he referenced to us yesterday was his confidence fitting the ball into any window, but obviously that window was a little too tight, and it was closing in a hurry.
And he was talking to us about having anticipation in making those types of throws. Down near the goal line, I don't think you can anticipate it as much as you need to see it open. You've got to be precise with your throws down here in the red zone. That one goes into double coverage, and he gets picked off.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Already enjoying a 2-score lead here late in the second quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 to add on even more to their lead. He lets one go deep for Addison. And that's going to be incomplete.
Oh, that's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. On 3rd down, McLean, and he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They have played so strongly. You look at the scoreboard, you probably, with the way they played, you would think the margin would be a lot bigger, right?
You would. And in your experience, how many times have we run into...
There he goes, left side. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. A great effort there with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Raiders come right out of the locker room and score here the opening minute of the 3rd quarter. I don't think you can get any more efficient or tidy, whatever word you want to use in that. And one play, 75 yards in zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent words. How about explosive? 75 yards, one play. That means everyone handled their assignment, doesn't it? It doesn't just mean that the defense broke down. They really executed the way that was drawn up on the whiteboard. Big-time play, big-time result.
And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Wide open receiver complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Back to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
On second down, they'll run it here. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on third down. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
He'll drop to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up fourth down.
Looks like another empty possession offensively, and you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
The Steelers send out their punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. This is taken around the 12. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. It really doesn't get much easier than the last drive. One play, and they took it all the way to the house on the touchdown run.
And you know how many times we talk about that's exactly how they drew it up? Because essentially every play that's drawn up in an offensive playbook, if everyone does their job perfectly, should go for a touchdown, right? That's one that actually did. Give a little credit to those big fellows up front, too. They sprang their man for not only a big gain, but 6 points.
And he'll be stopped up at the 26 after a gain of only a couple.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
2 yards still to go. Third down now. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Now he's into the clear again. Inside the 10.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great play there. His third touchdown of the game, number 9 on the season.
And the Raiders are able to widen their advantage.
So let's see, that was 3rd and 2. They hit the short pass, having the first down. He said, well, let's get a little more than the first down, all the way into the end zone.
And I know this is the NFL, and 3rd and 2 isn't necessarily a rundown. I think most of the time you play it as a passing down. But you can disguise it a little bit, right? You can show heavy run formation, make it look that way, and still throw the football effectively, as we just saw there. And he's still running, isn't he?
He stopped now, and he got 6 points for it.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 39-yard line. They'll look to throw here. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. And the Raiders force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down.
They'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
He's got a man complete.
Down the sideline he goes.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A big play there. 72 yards.
And the Raiders get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
On play action, they'll throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going.
They'll set up to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. This offense so far on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. They'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. That is incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And the Raider D, they get the football back.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, giving him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
144 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Off play action. Kramer, he'll buy some time right. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
Up the middle they go. McLean fighting his way through contact. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. McLean, they get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Back to throw. Kramer.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just got to give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's in. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away I'm throwing it. But I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Field goal coming from Younghoe Koo.
This a 27-yard attempt here.
Koo knocks this one through the post.
And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Washington now brings this out. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. Rashawn Gary, the man to bring him down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Here is 3rd down and 4. Well, looks like they'll move things around here.
Looking to throw.
That is caught.
And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. 12 yards that time and a Pittsburgh 1st.
Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but They can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Flushed out right. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A very solid gain of 27.
Now, fourth quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40.
It was Miles Murphy who fired in and got him to the ground.
Well, this has turned into an absolute week to forget for this quarterback. Multiple sacks, pair that with multiple turnovers. As far as he's concerned, if he ever sees this defense again, it'll be way too soon.
Flush to his right. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to be a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. They'll set up a throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Raider D, they get the football back. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And this crowd has certainly liked what they've seen. Their guys fully expected to win this one coming in, and they have not disappointed. And he coughed it up! And now this ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football. So this will go back to the spot of the fumble itself. So this one a victory for the Las Vegas Raiders. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but second, third, and fourth quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you can win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for Las Vegas,
it's a 10th win on the year as they move to 10-3. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, any slim hopes they had at a playoff berth gone now as they drop to 4-9. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.